Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. And today is Mask Monday for me because I have done extensive research the last 24 to 48 hours. I knew this information a while ago. I should have been sharing it with you guys, but I was being selfish. Our brain shellfish. Let's see here. Okay, so I want to share with you guys how adding vitamin D to your skin topically can help with like mask wearing and acne. Okay, so this is something that's not really, well, in my opinion, it's not really told much in the makeup industry because there's not a lot of, there's not tons of research in specific stuff when it comes to this in the makeup industry. However, I do have research, okay? So I do have research and I am going to share that with you. Okay, so vitamin D. There's so many benefits of vitamin D. It's actually a fat-soluble hormone, and vitamin D is what you hear all the time. It's called the sunshine vitamin. You can get it outside. A lot of people swear by the summertime that their acne goes away if they get vitamin D. You know, when we get vitamin D, we feel better. We feel more energized. If you stay in all the time, you feel, you know, just kind of blue. So vitamin D is very well known for its like sunshine to our bodies and all that other stuff. Now, you don't want to get too much vitamin D. So, vitamin D deficiency has been somewhat linked to acne. Acne, if you're unfamiliar with it, which I would hope that most of us are familiar with it, but if you're not, I'm going to share it with you. It's just the process of your pores being clogged, blocked, you get red bumps, you get blackheads. This can be from hormones, it can be from bacteria, it can be from oils, it can be from new environments, it can be from pills that you started to take, new medications, it could be so many things, the foods that you eat. It comes from so many different things. And usually we say acne from here is hormones, up here is our eating, and right here is your cleansing system, okay? So you can kind of range that. Are you getting pimples down here, which is hormonal? Your cleansing system, excuse me, I have the hiccups. And up here is like your food and all that other stuff, okay? So vitamin D. Vitamin D to the skin is actually antimicrobial. And if you're unfamiliar with what antimicrobial means in the makeup and skincare world, it means that it kills bacteria naturally. Okay, so when you have acne, when you have oil, when you have bacteria from acne, hormones, oil production, vitamin D becomes crucial because it is killing that bacteria and all that is in the acne. When you have acne, the bacteria spreads, whether you realize it or not, whether it's an open wound or not, it still creates bacteria on your skin. Okay, so you have to kill that bacteria. You want to stay away from alcohols. You want to stay away from benzoyl peroxides, salicylic acids. Those just dry out the skin and it causes more oil because it strips the natural oil from your skin, and then you have bigger issues. It's kind of like a band-aid. I kind of call it a root canal. It's just a band-aid. And eventually it's going to start to cycle again. And you may be noticing that with some of your salicylic acids, benzoyl peroxides, and some of your skincare that are alcohol based. Okay, now I do know in the skincare industry there are some specific cases that require it. However, I am not a doctor, I'm not an esthetician. However, this is in the 13 years of being in the makeup industry world as a freelance makeup artist, and being trained from top estheticians. This is the information that I have received. Okay, so I always say, if you feel like you need to get medical advice, seek medical advice. Okay, also, vitamin D helps with inflammation. So again, if you suffer from redness of the skin, sorry, my eye itches. If you suffer from redness of the skin, acne, rosacea, eczema, psoriasis, vitamin D is crucial. Now, here's the thing. You can take it orally. However, you have to apply it topically, okay, to get some of these results. Your body only absorbs so much vitamin C, vitamin D, all that other stuff. So it's your job to advocate for yourself to apply it topically. Now, I don't mean go and buy vitamin D and topically add it to your face. You have to find something that has vitamin D in it. Okay, so I'm going to show you some things that you can do to apply that to your face topically, because I never suggest just going and buying a vitamin D pill and just breaking it and applying it to your skin. You have to research, you have to advocate for yourself. And topically has been shown through research, it's the best way to reduce the acne, the inflammation, reducing bacteria as its an antimicrobial property. Okay, so in the makeup industry, a lot of you, maybe you have not heard of a big company that makes Urban Decay all-nighter. Okay, so it's actually one of the top, it was one of the top setting sprays and primers that you could get in the industry to the everyday woman. Okay, like you could get it at Ulta and Sephora and all those great places. You could get it right off of the website. It's made by a company called Scandinavia. Okay, and so Scandinavia is huge in the makeup industry world. They are the leading in primer and setting sprays. Okay, and so you're probably thinking, well, what does this have to do with acne and vitamin D? And I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. So a little backstory. The gentleman who is the CEO of Scandinavia is Alan Goldman. Okay, so Alan Goldman created the Urban Decay All-Nighter. He actually created the specific one that I'm going to be talking to you about that is specifically linked to me. He created it actually one night. He was at a party in Miami, and it was like in the middle of August, and some lady was just complaining. He was talking to her. She was just complaining about how her makeup was melting. She was struggling with textured skin. Okay, textured skin like acne, maskne, all that other stuff. Now this was created before maskne, but I'm going to tell you the importance of it with maskne here in just a little bit. So, and how this can be actually an essential portion to your skincare regimen. Okay, so he was currently in school at the time, skincare school, and they were working on an ingredient called Skin Surface. Skin Surface actually is a cooling agent, a cooling ingredient that you can add to skincare products naturally that cause a cooling effect to the skin. And so he thought, okay, well, if I can take this and put it in skincare, can I take my Urban Decay All-Nighter, create a patent for this specific company and make it a cooling agent when it applies, but also have a vitamin D derivative to it to help people with textured skin, oily skin, people who have eczema, rosacea, people who are struggling, and now people who are struggling in the industry with maskne, okay, and moisture. And I'm going to tell you here at the very end, so make sure you stick with me, because this is what's going to help you with the maskne and the moisture that you're getting in your mask. Okay, so he created this cooling effect from an ingredient he was using in school. He decided to create the alternative to Urban Decay All-Nighter. Hi, Brianna. I'm talking about what we were talking about yesterday. So the Scandinavia, who created the patent for my specific company I'm located with, they also created Urban Decay All-Nighter. They decided to take that cooling agent with vitamin D in it and create a setting spray and a primer. Okay, because people do struggle with textured skin, people do struggle with acne, people do struggle with redness, people do struggle with bacteria on their face. Okay, so again, it has that cooling in it, which is called Skin Surface. Now, you're probably thinking, what makes it so popular for the company that I'm related to and what we use? They have patents on the time release, the spray nozzle. It also is paraben free. It is water-based. Okay, and I'm going to tell you the importance of water-based versus gel and silicone based here in just a second. So they use this setting timer spray, which is meant for normal to dry skin. So they created a normal to dry skin formula and an oil strike for oily skin. Okay, so they originally created the setting spray first. They hadn't created the primer yet. They wanted to get that setting spray out because if you know anything about the company I'm associated with, we deal with Hollywood, we deal with sets, we deal with red carpet, we deal with celebrities, we deal with all that. So we needed something that was going to be available to where they could do photo shoots and it stayed on. It wasn't getting in the creases, it wasn't getting in the crevices, makeup was staying on longer, it wasn't smearing off. Okay, so basically it was like hairspray to your foundation, it's not coming off. Okay, so the analogy that he gave with the time setter spray that they created and patent for us is, think of on a hot summer day, okay, and you see a puddle on the ground. It soaks up that water in no time, within like an hour, versus it taking all day long for it to soak up a puddle. So it soaks up a lot faster. That's what the setting spray does. Okay, it absorbs all of that hydration, it absorbs all that moisture, it absorbs all of that bacteria, it absorbs all those things. That's where the patent comes in, where it's specifically important. So the patent is, we have these little microbes in our setting spray, okay? And they're called time release capsules, okay? So the time release capsules, as your body heat starts to rise, the time release capsules take those and it reduces the hydration, it reduces the moisture of the skin, it reduces the oil production, okay? That's why we have one for dry skin, and that's why we have normal to dry skin, and that's why we have one for oily skin, okay? Now, the oily skin setting spray has a little bit of extra goodie in it. It has some powder in it, and it has some specific ingredients that are linked to oily skinned individuals. Okay, so it makes it really important for you to know what skin type you are in order to decipher that. So if you don't know what that is, let me know and I can help you with that. So it's important because it actually, as that time release capsule starts to feel your body heat increasing, sweating, as you're wearing a mask, you're gonna notice, and I've noticed this without makeup, like I'm sweating profusely, like from mask wearing. Like I don't know how doctors and nurses do it all day long. I'm claustrophobic, but unfortunately, that's just the society we live in this current time. So we have to accept it and we have to be proactive about it. So as you're noticing the hydration and the moisture is getting really hot in that area, those time release capsules are soaking it up, just like a puddle on a hot summer day. It just soaks that right up. Okay, so it basically is adjusting to your body temperature. Okay, so that's how it's going to help you, and that's what the patent is, that is so specific to our setting spray. Okay, now that's when they decided, okay, so we created the hairspray that is time release. It's going to control the oil. It's going to control all of those things. Okay, so what they decided to do is they decided to create the primer, which is the glue that holds the foundation to your skin. Okay, so what they did was they took the same cooling agent, the skin surface agent ingredient, and created the priming spray. Okay, it's the same thing as the Urban Decay, but we have the patent on the time release, the reducing of inflammation, all of that stuff. Okay, so what they did was, while they were working on this, they created a patent for us on our spray nozzle. It took them 3 years to get this timing right. Now you're like, okay, whoopity-doo-dah, like there's a patent on your spray nozzle. What does that mean for me? What that means is you are getting the, I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's 1, 2, and it's a 3 right there. So it's got 3, if I can look here. So it's got one big one in the middle. Does a time release? Yes, it lasts throughout the whole day. So that's what I was going to tell you. That's another one of our patents. It's up to 16 hours. Most setting sprays, only have a time release of up to an hour to 5 hours. So that's where our patent comes in and makes us different, is ours is up to 16 hours. And I'm going to kind of show you guys, those of you who struggle with extra moisture, extra hydration, just to give yourself an extra spritz throughout the day. So what happens is, I'm not saying silicone base is bad for you. It is a toxin, but I do not use it. But silicone is more of a gel-like material. Now, if you're using wax base, you can't use silicone because they just smear together. If you're using a different type of foundation, maybe you prefer silicone, which is completely fine. But ours are water-based. And what does that mean for you? A water base means that it's not going to feel thick. Water base means that it's going to last longer on your skin. If you've ever been oily skinned before, you've worn silicone gel based primer or setting spray, it is thick. It is really thick. Let me tell you, that's what I used before, a water-based primer and setting spray, and it really made me feel like I had spackle on my face. But what happens is when you use a silicone-based primer, you get what is called an oil rebound, and so you're gonna see serious oil production. Now, this is not oil on my face. It's actually glow. It's a glow drop. I don't feel oily. Since I'm a super oily skin person, I embrace a glow now because as a wrinkled, mature person, dewy, glowy skin looks better on mature skin than a matte skin, right? It's kind of like glossy lips look better than a matte lip with wrinkles on it, right? So that's the same concept. So what they did was, since Skindinavia is a well-known professional company, they are used by makeup artists all over the world. They're like, okay, so we created this setting spray that only takes about 10 to 15 seconds to dry on the skin. We have to do that with this primer. So, because if you can understand, in the makeup artistry world, when I'm working with my clients, I have to apply their makeup. I've got like 10 or 15 for photo shoots. I have to apply this primer and get the makeup on within 10 seconds, 10 to 15 seconds. Or I'm sitting there waiting. Most primers, you have to wait 1 to 2 minutes. Okay? Logistically, you should. Okay, especially with silicone and gel based, because gel turns into powder. Some of them turn into powder, and so you have to wait for that process to happen. With water based primer and setting spray, they dry within 10 to 15 seconds. Now, there are some instances when I have somebody who is super oily, I have them wait at least a minute just to have that insurance policy. But when I'm on a set or something doing boudoir or pregnancy pictures, announcements, whatever, I can apply it within 10 to 15 seconds and the application is flawless. So that is why it's so important to understand gel silicone versus a water-based, okay? So again, we have the patent on the spray. So you get an adequate amount of spray with each pump. And it only takes 1, 2, 3 pumps. And I keep it about 15 or about, I don't know, 6 inch, I don't know, I don't keep it very far away. I just kind of pump it, okay? But you have to realize it has vitamin D and vitamin B6 in it. Now, vitamin D is very important for oily, acne prone, bacteria prone, inflammation prone, same with vitamin B. So it contains those products in there. So how is that important to people who are struggling with maskne? Okay, so vitamin B is a surge of serious vitamins to your skin. Especially if you're getting acne from here down, it's hormonal. So you have to treat it topically. Obviously, you can watch what you eat. Anything up here is, skincare related, food related, and then we have hormone related. That's how acne breaks out. So, but I like to think like a lot of it is how we eat, starting new pills, our environment. Most people who live in more hot, humid environments tend to not have as much acne. Hi, Alicia. And so that is why it's important. So those of you who are wearing masks, you need a temperature controlled primer and setting spray. Okay. Now it's also important to have a water-based primer and setting spray that lasts up to 16 hours like this patent that we have, because it's going to keep your makeup fresh and clean. It's not going to get all over there. Now, if you're not even wearing makeup, you can still use these because they're beneficial, especially to those of you who are struggling in the world with getting really sweaty and gross. Okay, so as those molecular things are starting to get bigger, your body temperature is rising, it's going to just snatch them. Okay, and it's going to suck all that oil, suck all that hydration. So, sorry, I just got some sad news. So it's really important to understand that. Now, what I like to do, we have a travel size one as well. So I use this setting spray at home, okay? But I also carry this, what is on the bottom? Oh, that's just writing on the bottom. I carry a travel size one as well in my purse. Now, why is that important? So I'm a little bit oilier than the normal person. So what I like to do, if I'm like putting my mask on and off, or if I'm going in from the heat to the cool, I like to just spritz my face, and it's just that cooling effect. It just makes me feel refreshed. It makes me feel hydrated. Do I need it? Probably not, but I like it. So that's why I like to keep a little travel size one, which is, you can find in my link in my bio. You can also get the travel size one. These do come in a set together. You can get them separately. However, I will tell you, you're gonna see the most bang for your buck by using them together. Now, why am I saying that? Because the primer reduces the inflammation, reduces the redness, reduces, it also has the vitamin B and D in it. And then the setting spray is what has that molecular, that time release patent on it that reduces the amount of hydration and moisture and oil production you're getting on your face. That's why the two work together. So I have a lot of people like, well, I just want one. Well, that's great, but you may not see what you're looking for, but I totally understand. So that's why I like to make that suggestion. So that is how the industry is with reducing the hydration and moisturizer. Now, I will tell you, in the industry, you cannot find, even the Urban Decay All-Nighter, you cannot mimic the patent that they've put on. The products, the paraben-free formula, the time-release patent, nobody can do that because we have a patent on it. So nobody can mimic that in the industry, especially pro-grade at target price, right? So we have ProGrade at, I would say, target price. Sometimes it's even cheaper than Sephora or Ulta prices, which to me is crazy because it's ProGrade, but they want to make it available to the everyday woman. And it's actually the same, I believe, the same price as the Urban Decay All-Nighter that you can get online. But ours is a specific formula. So the 3 attributes to remember, it's a patent, it can't imitate, or it cannot be stolen. Number 2, the sprayer took 3 years, so you get the right amount of product. You're not wasting anything. You're not using too much. You're not overspraying. You know you only have to do 3 sprays. You're done. And then you have, we have proof in usage. So Scandinavia did trials and clinical trials on these 2 products with the time release, with the reduction of hydration and moisture, with the reduction of acne production, oil production, all of that jazz. So there is research and clinical trials of that they did in the testing of this. Anything that we receive goes through serious trials. Our face SPF took 3 years to perfect in order for it to even go on the market. Now, if you guys are familiar with what I show, we also, Scandinavia, created our make-off spray, okay? Our make-off spray as well. It is the best make-off spray you can get. They spent a couple years on the nozzle and also on the formula. So they also created our make-off spray. It's about the best make-off spray you could ever use in your life, especially with waterproof. It's the only thing that takes our waterproof mascara off. Like, literally, it's the only thing. So that is the proof in the pudding. If you're struggling with maskne, if you're struggling with acne production, oil production, this is a common thing that I talk about when anybody talks to me about skincare. I always have people add this to their skincare routine, whether or not they use makeup or not, because a lot of people don't wear makeup. They may just wear concealer. I know Brianna just wears concealer. Some people don't even wear makeup, which is totally fine. So it is something you should add to your current skincare system, especially in the society that we live, because you want to reduce that hydration and moisture you're getting in that mask. I can tell you when I don't wear it, I can definitely see a difference. So grab one of these little travel size finishing sprays just to have for that extra little mist, have you will. So again, you can find the link in my bio. If you have any questions, if you don't know if you're oily or if you're normal to dry, shoot me a message or comment below and I'll be happy to figure that out for you. So I hope you guys have a great day. Thank you, Alicia, for joining. And Brianna, if you're rewatching it, do hashtag replay. So I'll see you guys later.